welcome back to Mini Man Shed. In this episode, I'm going to be continuing to sort out the oil leak on the engine. I'm also going to take the cylinder head off and see if we can identify any problems and any other stuff that I may add on to this episode. Who knows? So sit back and relax. So let's get on to the next job. Get this head off and see what we can see. Okay, so let's have a look at what we found. This is as is. I haven't touched anything. First of all, we've got some got some sludge build up in the wee holes, but that's to be expected. The humidity in the cylinder is just where water leaked from the water jacket down into the cylinder, but so that's not as I found it. So all the cylinders are dry. The gasket, it looks pretty clean to me. I don't see anything wrong with this. Cylinder bores, and it's difficult for you to see. Don't actually have a torch on me right now, but you take my word for it. I think you can see that. I can't tip it. So all the bores have still got cross hatching on them. There's a tiny wee bit of vertical scoring on this cylinder here, but that's nothing. Yeah, let's go and have a look at the head. Okay, so this is how it came off. Nothing plain and evident that I can see. All looks pretty clean. The gasket's not failed anywhere. If you see in between the cylinders, can I focus on that? Yeah. You can still see the mark of the gasket. You can still see it. It's not been breached, I don't believe. Obviously it's coked up a bit, so we're gonna do a leak down test to see if any of the valves are leaking. Give it a clean up stuff. I've already put a straight edge across the cylinder head. It's not warped. It's all perfectly straight. And what else? Yeah, I think that's about all there's to say. So there's nothing. Okay, so
nothing
here we're
wrong
going to
here.
do a valve leak down test. I'm sure all you guys have seen this done or done it yourselves, but we're gonna do it together. The objective is to fill up the valve. Sorry, to fill up the valve chamber, and these valves shouldn't let anything pass. I'm going to use some petrol because I know it's not very viscous, but these should be completely sealed. There shouldn't be anything that gets past here. Some people use light oil or diesel or paraffin, things like that, but I'm going to put some petrol in here just to see if there's absolutely anything passing these valves. And if there is anything, we should be able to shine a torch in the exhaust and inlet ports. And if there's anything coming through, we'll be able to see it leaking down. Okay, so let's go. First one. In there. Oh, that. Okay. That's one. Three. There we go. Right, just going to get a wee cloth here, and just going to clean along here. There we go. Right, so they're all filled up. Let's get our torch, and I don't know if we're going to be all going to be able to see in here, but we'll give it a go. Okay. You guys can't see in there, unfortunately. Let's see. Oh, there's one leaking. See this one here? Can you see that? I'm sorry, I'm not very good with the camera here, but is it going to focus? Focus. Hello. It's not focusing. And that one there, it looks okay. So we'll give it a minute. Give it a minute to properly. This camera doesn't focus very well, does it? We'll give it a few minutes. We'll see what happens, and we'll come back. Okay. Okay. So what we learned from what we've done, we've learned that the inlet valve on cylinder number 3 is leaking. There's a slight weep on the exhaust port on cylinder 2. The rest are all right, but which means that we're going to have to clean all this up, and we're going to have to relap the valves. Yeah, that's what we're going to go on to next. Cylinder head gasket, I can't see anything wrong with it. It looks in pretty good condition. The cylinder bores are in good condition. So yeah, we're gonna have to. I don't know whether my rough running would be caused by a leaky valve like that. I doubt it. I don't know enough about it. I'll have to look into it. But anyway, that's definitely something that I'm gonna have to do. Lap all these valves in. Yeah, let's get on with that. Damn you, Cole from Classic Mini DIY. I've just filmed loads of videos reconditioning the cylinder head on my Mini, and lo and behold, he puts a video up doing exactly the same thing. But never mind, he can do it a lot better than me, so I'll just I'll cut to it all being refreshed. I've done exactly what he's done, cleaned up all the valves, lapped them, all that kind of stuff. So we'll just move on to something else that he's not done. In fact, something that I've never seen being done. I don't remember. Yeah, let's crack on, and I'll show you some parts, and then we'll get on with it. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
There's Daddy's friend. He's called Cole. You say cuckoo Cole. Get down your mouth. Hiya. Hi Cole. Cuckoo Cole. Give me kisses. Okay, so here's what I bought. I've got genuine head gas well from Many Spares, small bore cylinder head, small bore engine. Got some valve stem oil seals, some new spark plugs, valve compressor, and this whatever you call it, twiddly stick. I'm going to go over here. What I've already done is I've taken one valve out just to use the valve compressor, so I know how to use it and don't look like a twat. Well, not more than I usually look like. Yeah, first valve out. Oh, the collets there. Uh, there we go. So we're just going to get on with this. Whip all the valves out and give it all a clean up and lap the valves. Okay, so I'll catch you now. Hi. So I got a bit carried away with my head. Obviously, my head got a bit carried away with itself. So yeah, after knocking it around, putting the valves in and stuff, wear and tear, I decided to give it a bit of a freshen up. And a little tip, which always worked for me, for painting your cylinder head. Obviously, you should be using, high temperature paint and stuff, but you can't get high temperature paint in all the colors that you want your head to be. Obviously, I wanted mine to be the color of my car. So what I usually do is strip it all back, clean it all with solvent, make sure all the paint is off it, get it all super clean, and then what I did was I get my heat gun, and I heat the head up a wee bit, not roasting hot, just heat the surface, and then I paint it with maybe two or three kind of lightish coats of high temperature primer, or that kind of stuff. The high temperature paint on in contact with the actual head itself. Make sure they dry in between coats. Let all that dry, and then I key that high temperature primer with a Scotch-Brite pad, just to give it a wee bit of bite, and then I give it a right good. I think there I give it two or three coats of just 2K. This is paint that I got mixed up at the same time as I got the bulk paint I got for spraying the car, and it went in aerosols. So this is teal blue, with the what do you call it? What's the varnish? You know what I mean? The clear coat. Thank you, clear coat in it, so you don't have to put any clear over it. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I think the most important thing is that what's in contact with the head itself is high temperature paint. So I'm sure you get the point. So what I did here was I just cut out a wee bit of cardboard just to make sure the paint doesn't go in the ring where the thermostat sits. I found little bits of pipe hose, which is the perfect size. for these stud size, so you don't get paint down in the studs. I found a bit of in here. I found a bit of hose, which is the perfect size for going in the spark plug hole, so you get nice paint right up to the spark plug, and nothing in the thread. Okay, so I'm just pull all these out. You see, like that, and here, focus. Hello. Come on, there we go. Right, and there I just rolled up some masking tape and made a wee rolls. They go in where the water heater thing is, and the big unveil. There we go. So all the valves back. Focus. All the valves back in, and the other underside. All the manifold studs as well, and let's see. So I didn't paint obviously the surface. You get the point. I didn't paint the surface where the exhaust and everything's going on, because that will just burn. And then underside, all the valves are in, all cleaned up. Obviously the face will need to get cleaned off with a bit of solvent. Probably run over it. What I usually do is kind of cross hatch a wee bit with some wet and dry paper, but just to get all that off and clean the face off. But sorry. So that's basically that's ready to go back on the engine. We'll get the block tidied up, and we'll see you in a minute. Ooh, look at the marigolds! Ooh. Well, it's all that I could get because all the shops are closed, and really didn't have any gloves left, garage gloves left. So that's all that I could get. So we'll have to do for the moment. Although I've learned that they don't work with solvent. Anyway, that will keep my nails nice and clean for the moment until I can get to the shops and all this madness ends. Lockdown, we're in lockdown as well, but it doesn't really affect me too much because I work, out, and we're in the middle of nowhere. Most of my clients, it's their holiday houses, so people are not there at the moment. I don't see anyone all day, so I leave from my house, I go and work in the middle of nowhere. I touch my tools, don't see anyone all day, and then come home, so I can continue working, which is good. Kids are off school and everything as well, so it's a bit challenging at the moment, as it is for everyone. I hope you all stay safe. So we'll leave that video there. So the head's done, everything's off the side of the engine. I've got most of the parts for that. I think I've got all the parts for that. So the next video will be me hopefully putting things back together the way they're meant to. I've also ordered some other parts which I'm assured will come, will be delivered from Mini Spares, in spite of the situation at the moment, which is great. They should arrive reasonably soon, and it should allow me to, I'll just say, make some modifications that I've never seen being done on kind of the mini YouTube kind of circle. People that put videos on YouTube, if it has been done, I haven't seen it very often, so that should be at least more interesting than normal. So take it easy, and catch you next time. See you later.